Mr. Irontrader, it is Sunday night. So I'm going to take a look here at Bitcoin, gold, silver, crude oil, and Natgas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell your stock on ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Here we have Bitcoin daily, weekly chart. Now we can see here. We came right down here, closed below that 50-day and that 8-day. So now that's going to become very, very strong resistance. So what we're looking for on the upside here is that 50-day at 115,963. We get above that bad boy. We're going to come up to that 8-day. We're looking at 116,160 level. Okay. Now, again, if we can get above all that, what we're going to do is we come up here to the top of this candle. Okay. So you're looking at that 117,240. We have 117,320. 117,335, 117,685. Then we'll look to Friday's high, 117,795, and then we're going to look for this retest at 118,285 level. What we're looking for when it got up to this level, we're looking for the top of that candle at that 18,350 level, but we made it up to 18,295 and didn't quite make it there. Now, if we can roll back above it, we're going to come to the top there at 119,810, and the next resistance is 127.55. Always look to the left, 121.255, and then we got sticky over here at 122.955. And then we're going to go to the left of the chart, and this is going to be very, very key level on a closing basis, 123.615, and then we'll come up to the top of there, 123.755, and your big retest at 125.200. Now, you can see here last week how we had this sideways action. We were holding that 50-day real nice until it came to Friday, and then she boom, zipped right on down. So what we're watching is that we're going to look at the bottom of Friday's candle. That's at 115,220. That's going to be your support level. We'll come down here to 114,850 level, and we'll come to the bottom of that candle at 114,635, and then we'll be looking for this 21-day at 113. 655 level. Now, obviously, we get above that, we can follow these candles down, but realistically, looking at that 100-day, and then we could come all the way down here to this retest down at that 107 level. But right now here, we're still holding this 21-day to catch all. That looks very good. So let's just see if we can get right back above that 50-day and that 8-day, and maybe we can retest at least this 118,295 level. And then once we break out of that, we can just start busting all the way on up here. Now, you look at 51, okay? That's not overbought or oversold. The green is over your red. So we just have this sideways consolidation. So don't get, Bitcoin's going down. Nah. Okay, we have, look at here. Green candle, red candle, green candle, red candle, green candle, red candle. Maybe get a green candle right back up again here. Patience is the key. Now, weekly chart here. Still very, very bullish chart. And we're holding this 8 SMA here. Last week candle, we went down below it, but we held that 8 SMA. This is going to be very crucial by the Friday coming up. Now, we lose that. Then we come down to that 21-day. You're looking at that 111,561. Then we just follow these candles down. 111 solid. And then we come down here. We look at 108.20 level. Come down here at 107.790. Then you can work yourself all the way down to the 50-day. But again, this sells all the way down to this 50-day. This is still a very, very bullish chart. Bottom left, upper right. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low situation. You get down to the 50-day, still higher low situation. So just be a little bit patient with this here sideways action. I think once we start getting some juice going on here, this will rally up and we'll catch that 125, 200 retest. And then we break through that. You can go 130, 135 and head towards that 150 area. All right, let's take a look here now at gold and at silver. All right, here we have gold, here we have silver. Now, you can see here how nice rally that we had all the way up here, all the way up to that 37.44 level. Now, we had this two stage candles going down, okay? So we put this a lower high and a lower low in it. And then Friday, look at here, we held that bottom, and then we just had a nice good, and we just basically got closed right up back above that 37.07. We closed right there at that 37.19 level. Very, very nice. So now we're just sitting here in the middle. So we're sitting here pretty much in between. Okay, so you have your 8-day on the bottom. Okay, 37.01, and then we have that price, that 37.44 on the top, sitting right in the middle. So again, if we lose this key 37.01, then we go down and retest Friday's low at that 36.64 level. We'll come down here at that 36.60 level. Then we'll come over here to the top of that candle at that 36.40 level. And then we just venture right down here, 36.21. Then we have your 21-day sitting at 36.10. So this sideways action is actually really good, this consolidation. It gives you a chance for that 21-day, the 50-day, everything to try to catch up. Because if it comes all the way down, usually that 21-day is a catch-all. just like what we've been having in the past. Okay, so now upside here, what you lose, we're watching our Friday's high, 37.19. We crack above that, you're going to come here at the top of this candle, 37.24, and then we have 37.39, and then you retest 37.44. Now you crack above that, you're going to head obviously 37.50, but I think you're going to head right for that 3800, maybe even 38.20 level here. But you got to close above the 37.44 level. Now you can see here how this got like an overbought condition. And then it came down. Now we're just having it riding sideways. So this gold here is very, very strong. I don't think the movement is done yet going on the upside. Now we have the green still above the red, but if it great, say breaks below, well, then that shows momentum to the downside. But again, just watch that 8-day. That is going to be everything, okay, on the old gold ski. Now, what I'm waiting for, I'm going to trade this, is I'm watching that 8-day, 37.01. If we hold that, that could be a good trade in the GLD back to the 37.44. Or now we start saying we blast above this 37.44, then I'll jump into GLD and just take it higher. You buy on strength. Very, very simple. Okay, silver. Now, silver had a really good day on Friday. Look at this bad boy. Okay, nice. Very, very nice. Now, sideways consolidation had this really nice run up here. What we're looking for was that 43.52 level here that we got up there so far. Very, very nice. We had 43.43, and then we cracked up here to that so far and made an even higher high at 43.52. Friday's high was 43.40. So this looks like it's just want to break out. The key is holding that price channel, that 43.43. Now, again, if we lose it, it'll come to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 42.94. Then we have your 8-day at that 42.71. We lose it, we come down to Friday's low. Okay, you're looking at 41.93 level. We'll come down here at 41.48. And then we have, what do we have there? At right here, as this 21-day at 41.37. But right now, this is looking very good. As long as we hold in this 21 SMA here, we're holding this sideways consolidation, looking very, very nice. Now, okay, we had the overbought situation. Now it came out, we're flattening out. It just shows that it's very, very strong as of right now. Okay, same way your green. It never crossed over. See how that momentum came down, and then it just popped right up there very, very nicely. So right now here we're watching the key level is going to be that 43.43. Today we made a high of 43.52. I'm going to be watching this. I might be jumping in that SLV later here today. But again, you got to start getting and closing above that if you can. 44, but I think 45 is the target on the old silver, and eventually work yourself up to that 50 level. Okay, but just be very, very, very patient. We want to make sure we hold 43, and we want to hold that 8-day on a closing basis. All right, let's take a look here at crude oil and natural gas. Okay, here we have the old crude ski. Now, you can see here crude oil, it's been working itself sideways very nice. Now, we put this low in here of 61.45. We retested it with 61.45. We ran up like a bear flag situation, came down, ran up again, and then came down situation. Okay, so we have that series now of lower highs and lower lows. That's not good. However, Friday we put this low in of 62.20, and so far today we put in there at 62.30, I should say, and a 62.20 level. Okay, so we're sort of like an inside day here, but it's way early. The market just opened. Okay, so we're looking on the downside. You're looking at that 62.20. Then we're going to come right to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 61.69, and then 61.45. That is going to be the big target, because look how many times that has held it. Okay, but if once you start breaking through that, that's never good. Okay, and next level is going to be right there, 61.06. We'll come down there at 60.26, 60.02 level, and then we'll come right here, 59.74. That's what we're going to be looking for initially. Now, if this thing keeps right on rattling down again, well, we're going to be looking right to the bottom there. You're looking at 57.74. We have 57.03. 56.39, 55.30, and your retest at 55.12. Eventually, I think this is going to go down in the 50s by the end of the year, but let's see how it all shakes out. Now, remember, anything can happen, okay? So I'll just point out a good example of that. We had an inverse head and shoulder. See, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. See how nice that is? Popped up, I says, going to the 200-day, and that's where it went. This was that war premium, okay, between Israel and Iran. Okay, so anything can happen. Any kind of disruption, if you have hurricanes, you have this, you have that, you have a war, attempted war, anything like that can take crude oil much, much higher. That's why I like trading it, because it's always in play. That's the beauty of it. You have to wait for earnings, I have to wait for this, I have to wait for that. It's always in play. Now, Upside, well, you got to get back above this 8-day. This is very, very crude. That's going to be big time resistance, 63.10 and 63.45. We get above that, we come to the top of that candle, 64.20. But you're really looking at that 64.47, that 100-day, and then that 50 SMA at 64.56. That 50-day is very, very strong, as you can see in the past. See right there, okay? Below, he went into it, down. Up above it, down. Right here, above it, down, down. And then look at here. Couldn't get through, and then down she went. So this is going to be very strong resistance. Now your price is below all your simple moving averages, your 8, your 21-day, your 100-day, your 50-day, and then we have your price channel up there at 66.03, and then we have 66.93, which your 200-day now is coming on down. So the key to this whole situation is going to be 8-day, 21-day on the upside. Then we can head for that 100-day, 50-day. And on the downside is right here, this 61.45. You have to hold that on a closing basis. Other than if you don't, then right here is going to be your target. It's going to be right there at 59.74. Now, we look here. That's not overbought, oversold. This here just sideways action because obviously we have sideways action. So be a little bit patient. I use UCO for the long, SCO for the short. We lose this 61.45. I'll be all in short because there's going to be your target right there. Okay. Now, natural gas. Well, natural gas, we're coming into the own time this time of the year. Now, we ran right up here. We held that 21-day. We put a bottoming tail in, and we ran up, okay? 3.13. All you got to do is look to the left of the chart. What do you have? 3.13. Next day, we went all the way up to 3.16. I said, look to the left of the chart. What do we have? 3.16. Never even made it to 3.19. Always look to the left of the chart, okay? That's the key. When I see it couldn't do it, boom, I'm out of the same. Once we start losing that 8-day, completely out. So now I'm looking to build that position back up again, but I don't want to be caught in it, So on that position I was trying to build up there, I broke even. I put a break-even stop loss, so I got even on that. But I make money every day on natural gas because I trade it every day. Okay. Now I haven't been trading the short. I usually use KOLD, but I've been trading the long, the UNG, and just for scalping purposes, working very, very nicely. Now, you can see Friday came all the way down here, went down to 285. So all you got to do is look to the left of the chart. What do you got? 285. Okay, see how that is? 285, 285. Okay, so now again, if it had kept on going, or if it still keeps on going, next level right there, 277. There's your gap. Look to the top of the candle, 274. Look to the bottom of the candle, 265, and retest down here, 262. Okay, very, very easy. Now, upside, right here, this 21-day is going to be everything. You got to get back above that. That's 296. Right here, your 8-day, right there, 298. And then you're going to have your 50-day at 303. Okay, so you got a lot of resistance. Now, you bust above it, we just do the reverse now. 310, 313, okay, 316. And then we got to that, back to that 319. You crack above it, 100-day, and then we have your 200-day. Eventually, I think this is going to go higher. We're kind of like a consolidation situation. We've had this downtrending chart, okay? High, lower high situation. Okay, so now we have the sideways action. A lot of times it will come down and retest. Now, when we start getting some news that'll come in there, like say, hey, the weather's going to be, like icicles, well, then that could take natural gas up much higher. So just be a little bit patient with this. I just don't think in the wintertime, this gas is going to sit down there in the 2 area. I think it's going to be up in the 3s, maybe even retest these 4 levels here very, very nicely. Okay, so just be a little patient. I use UNG for the long, KLD for the short. I'm just scalping the long right now. It's working out very, very nicely. Okay, but don't be afraid to put a stop loss in there. Okay, so you take a bunch of shares, you get stopped out even. Who cares? Okay, that's just you can always go there and buy it back. That's the beauty of trading. Now, RSI here, you're only sitting at 45. That's not overbought or oversold. The green crossed over your red. It shows that you have downside momentum, which is pretty obvious. Okay, see how that all those red candles. But let's see if this 285, okay, that double bottom now. Let's see if it holds. If that holds with this bottoming tail, this could rip right through all that, and we could head right back for that 319. So just be very, very patient. That's the key. Patience. Now, right now here, the NASDAQ futures are down about 36. There's no sense showing the chart. It's the same old shit. There's really nothing. Bitcoin's up about 45. So let's just see how it all shakes out once you can start trading the market here at 8 o'clock. And then we'll see what happens with tomorrow. All right. So I will be back here tomorrow morning. We'll take a look here at that Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. And we'll take a look at the NQs. And we'll see how it shapes up here starting on Monday. You've got a nice, good, full week. All right. Trade what's in front of you. Not what you want.